Greetings everyone and welcome to another episode of SwampFox MagFed. I hope you guys are having a positive and productive day and you are ready for a new review. So today what we're going to do is take a look at the Krinkov kit from Magfed Maker. Now I was super excited to do this review because I've been really excited to kind of get this thing ordered and get it together. This is the first time I ordered something this custom that's been 3D printed, and so prior to ordering it I had a lot of reservation just because I didn't want to order the wrong part. With this being such a custom order, my biggest fear was not making the right selection or picking something out that didn't fit and then running into the issue of having an incomplete marker, especially because all of this is made to order. I didn't want to make the wrong decision and end up with a few week delay. So essentially what we're doing is taking the standard MG100 body that looks like this and going through Magfed Maker, ordering the Krinkov kit and turning it into something that looks like this. So in addition to our standard review on the product that we received in the mail, what I'm wanting to do as well is touch on the process as a whole. From ordering to receiving, I've noticed there's a lot of questions on how long it takes once you order it, what the ordering process is like, and so I want to take the time today and provide us with a little bit more of an in-depth review. That way we can answer any and all questions that you may have in regards to making a custom order through Magfed Maker. What I'm going to do as well is I've split this into essentially 6 categories here. Apologize. And those 6 categories are going to be buying, ordering, quality, assembly, modding, and testing. So if you want, you can go down to the drop down below, and I've done timestamps for each one of those chapters. This way, if you're not really looking to watch the whole video and you have some specific questions in regards to an order from Magfed Maker, you can skip ahead and just jump to the information that you need. So before we go any further, I just want to talk about my relationship with Magfed Maker. I do not have one at this time. They weren't aware that I was going to make this video. I didn't let them know that we were doing a review on the order that I was receiving, and so this is a completely unbiased order. I wanted to make sure, especially in terms of wait time and shipping, that we got the most accurate representation of just an average person placing an order. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first chapter, and that's going to be buying. So let's go ahead and I'm going to bring our screen up here, and we're going to go ahead and jump into what it's like to order this from start to finish. So jumping onto the screen, his site is really easy to use. He does offer a wide variety of kits. While he doesn't have a kit for every single Magfed marker available, he does offer a wide range of options depending on which Magfed marker you have. Now, if you're looking to maybe do a custom build, I would recommend maybe taking a look at the kits that he offers, and if you find something that you like, it may change the marker that you end up buying based on that end result. But going into his site here, he does offer a wide range of complete kits, which I think is fantastic. So if you're just wanting to kind of pick up something and you have an idea, you're not too particular, he does offer a wider range of kits that you can order in order to make your gun just a little bit more custom. What I went ahead and did is I selected the AK builder here in the top because I wanted to do something a little bit more specific to my own taste. And so one of the things that I did was I went online and I found a couple references of the markers or real steel guns that I wanted to replicate, so that way when I was building this I was able to draw the photos in and really select each part based on the references that I had selected prior to making the order. So the one thing I do appreciate about Magfed Maker is all of the options. It's very easy to use, and so you'll have all your selections on the right, from basically body to all of the extras, and then you have all your photos. And so what you want to do is start with the body here. Now, based on the body that you select, it will give you options moving forward. So by starting with the body, what I ended up doing was starting with this Krinkov kit here. I liked the AK look. I was going to go with something that had a little bit more of a top rail, but I felt like it made it look a little bit too clunky for my taste. So the Krinkov had a very definitive AK look, and it gave me the options on the back end that I wanted in terms of stock. So he does a great job at giving you a nice side profile as well as like a 45-degree angle, and then this way you get a good idea in your mind of what this is going to look like. Just in case you're more of a visual person, you can kind of select it based on look. But all of his options are super cool, and basically once you pick your body, you're able to select your options based on that. So this is Krinkov front end, and then that way it gives you all the options as well as the same perspective, so you can get a good idea of what this thing's going to look like, which is awesome. And you do it all the way through. And so for me, one of the big things was the end result. I like the idea of the folding stock. I feel like it gives it kind of that AK feel, and so there were only a couple options that offered the folding stock, and so I made sure to pick and base my marker off of those options. So like I said, he provides really, really great visuals for you, and he makes it pretty easy to go through and select all of your custom pieces, which I think is fantastic. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever ordered anything this custom, and my big concern was just making sure that everything worked and looked good. I didn't want to, on the off chance, pick the wrong selection, like I said, and pick something that was going to be printed wrong and then have to wait for a new part to be printed and sent out and have a half-ordered gun. So in terms of buying and making your purchases, Magfed Maker does an extremely good job at making it easy for you. So our next category, number 2, is going to be the ordering process. How long does it take? Now, I ordered my marker on the 6th of June, which was a Saturday. Now, upon receiving or placing that order, I received an email from him just letting me know that there was a 10-day lead time, and he specified business days. Now, while I was hoping that he would start my build on Saturday, it ended up being Monday. So I placed my order Saturday the 6th, and then he started the building process on the first business day, which was Monday the 8th. And then 10 business days later, I received an email on the 18th of June letting me know that the order has shipped, and I think I paid a little bit extra for the 2 days, so I ended up receiving it on the 20th. So based on the ordering process and the guidelines that he had set forth, the timeline was pretty accurate. So just expect when you do place an order for it to follow the timeline that he sets forth. If you order it on a Saturday, just know that he probably won't start building it until Monday, which is fine. And you might want to maybe place your order on a Sunday evening, so that way he can start production Monday morning and get your order rolling and out to you as quick as possible. But in terms of ordering, it's pretty straightforward. He does stick to his guidelines, and there is a possibility that you could receive it earlier than anticipated, but in my experience, I received it right on time with what he had anticipated for the ordering process. So just expect that 10-day lead time for placing your order with Magfed Maker. The third one was quality. What type of product did I receive when it finally did show up? Especially with this being an extensive build and there being so much 3D printed parts, I was worried as to the quality we were going to get back, especially with the Picatinny rail, because I run a reverse cam, I run a zoom cam, a foregrip, and an optic. I wanted to make sure that it was going to be good quality to hold on what I had on the front there. So upon receiving this in the mail, it is fantastic. Out of the box, it is great. You can tell he's an experienced 3D printer because there's a lot of fitment stuff that he took the time to make sure it was perfect. One of the things, for example, is on the stock. I was a little worried because I've had some 3D printed products before, and especially with us putting this into the shoulder, I was worried that this might be a little bit flimsier and you'd run the risk of it breaking. But what he ended up doing was, there is a long, basically, screw that goes on the bottom and the top and secures the stock to the base here. So in addition to having a nice 3D printed product, there are support beams, I guess, in place in some of those high traffic areas, just to make sure that it's going to hold up to the abuse a little bit more. So that was a fantastic little extra that I didn't anticipate, but it just shows his experience. Everything, like I said, especially the rail, it was printed to an extremely high quality, which allows me to use everything well and not have to buy additional mounts or things like that in order to hold my cameras. Another thing that I thought was super cool was the sleeve that he has built in here. Now, I was a little worried because there wasn't any exact measurements as to how long of a barrel you were going to need. I do run a 10-inch Deadly Winds barrel with freak inserts, and so it was nice to know that once I put the kit on, I didn't have to buy an additional barrel to fit the kit. By itself, I think it looks good, and then I ended up buying a muzzle device, one of the AK devices to put on top too, and I think that mounts and it gives it just a little bit more of that AK look. But it's nice to know that another one of those experience features that he adds on is just providing an additional sleeve so that you don't get any wiggle or play in the barrel, that it fits true with the kit and everything slides together like it was intended to go. So I think that is extremely awesome, and it just provides a little bit more of that sound quality that you get when you go through Magfed Maker. So, as a recap, in terms of quality, I am completely impressed, and I think it is just a very high quality product that he puts out, and you get what you pay for in terms of the kit itself. So, number 4, we are going to be jumping into assembly. How hard is this thing to put on? Now, this is the first kit that I've installed, and truthfully, it wasn't extremely difficult. There were a couple tips that I'm going to kind of give to you guys that I came across, but assembly itself was fairly easy. Now, what I ended up having to do was, I started with this here. I went down and took out all the screws in order to get this body to separate in half. Now, once you get all the screws out, you won't be able to take it completely apart. You end up having to do the 2 set screws down at the bottom of the grip frame, and that way the pistol grip comes off and it separates the upper body, which allows you to disassemble this. Now, once you have the body separated, when you receive this, the stock is one part that attaches at the back end here, and then the inside of this body is hollow. And so what you'll end up doing is you'll take the body, you'll unscrew this and pull this out, and then you'll slide the body all the way in to this hollow housing up top here. Now, one of the key things that you want to make sure you do that I did not do was Magfed Maker gives you a little ball detent that goes on the top of the MG100 body, and you want to make sure you install that before you slide the body in. I didn't do that. I assembled everything, and I was kind of messing around with it once I was done and realized that there were parts still left in the box. So a fun tip is make sure you install the ball detent before you put the body in. And so once you do that, you slide the body in, and then you'll go ahead and attach the grip here and then do your 2 bolts. And that way the pistol grip is attaching to the body like it normally would, and it is kind of hugging on to the new 3D printed body, so there's not any additional holes you have to drill or anything like that. It just mods really well with what's already there. And then once you have that in, the buttstock slides on, and then this bolt goes down and secures everything together, so that way this all is one piece. And then the cool thing is the forend has a screw here, and basically this part and this part all slide in, and then this screw secures everything down. So that way this is one complete piece here to here, and then this slides in the front, and then you have that nice set screw that locks everything in place. So it's a really ingenious system in terms of how well everything goes together and fits like it should. And like I said, the only trick that I had was I just didn't know to install that detent, which made it a little bit more funky. Worst case, I just had to take everything apart and put it back together, but in terms of assembly, it wasn't super crazy. And so what I'm gonna do as well is, if you'd like to see strictly an assembly video, let me know. Leave a comment down below, and what I'll do is I'll just make a video specifically on taking apart the MG100 and assembling your new kit from Magfed Maker. So like I said, just leave a comment down below, and if you guys would like to see that, I will make one for you, no problem. The next category is number 5, which is modding. Now, with any custom kit, you will potentially have to do some sort of modification, just depending on the quality of the kit you receive. Now, none of these kits are perfect. They're all 3D printed, and so some modification is expected. Not saying that it's any fault to the builder or anything like that, but you just need to know that when you're building or you're receiving a kit like this, you may have to do some sort of modification in order for everything to fit perfectly. And so you will be happy to know that with this kit in particular, there was very little to no modification that I had to do. The only thing that I needed to do was, when you receive the kit, I had on the upper body here, there was a little bit of a hang down like lip that went on the inside that hung down above the trigger guard. And what that did was, when I tightened the body together, it put some unnecessary pressure on the trigger itself and the safety. And it didn't allow me to use the safety. I could use the trigger fine, but I couldn't actuate the safety. And it was also putting some funky pressure on the trigger frame. And so all I had to do was basically take it apart, do a little bit of sanding, and as you can tell, everything is good to go. Trigger works great, and there are no issues. So, like I said, that was the only thing I had to do. Truthfully, I was expecting to have to do a little bit more, but it was nice to know that as soon as I received it, just a little bit of modification, and this thing is good to go. It may not be on all of these that you have to do that modification, but just with mine in particular, I had to do that in order to get the safety to function. Other than that, it worked perfectly. Now, the last thing we're going to do is just testing. How does it work? And let me tell you, this thing is fantastic. I didn't really notice any additional weight issues, and that was one thing that I was worried about, just because I love how light the MG100 is. And so I didn't want to put a whole bunch of stuff on it and have it be this heavy burden of a marker that I no longer enjoy, because I bought this aftermarket kit and it ended up being more of a burden than a help. So this thing looks really cool, and it also functions extremely well. Another thing that me and some of the guys at the field were worried about was, with there being these sleeves on the inside, it covers up quite a bit of the porting for the barrel, and I was worried that it may affect the unique sound signature that the MG100 has. But I would be pleased to report that it did not in the least bit. This thing still shot, and it had that unique sound signature that we all love from the MG100, and so that was a big plus for me. So, all in all, this was a fantastic purchase, and I am extremely happy that I went ahead and bought it. If you're looking to buy a kit from Magfed Maker, just know that you are going to be getting a great kit. He is a very experienced builder, and it shows. Everything that you get is well put together, well thought out, and it's going to work for you as soon as you get it, and over the long haul as well. I'm super excited. I played with this probably maybe 2 or 3 times so far. I'm going to have some gameplay footage coming out using this, and so I've just been extremely impressed with it. I haven't quite dialed in my final setup yet. I'm still kind of working through a couple different configurations to see what I like best, but all in all, I really do enjoy the purchasing of this kit. So thank you guys again. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below, give us a like, subscribe. It all helps. And if you'd like to see a more in-depth assembly video, please leave a comment down below, and like I said, I'd be more than happy to put one of those together for you so you guys can see a little bit more specifically how to assemble this marker. Again, guys, thank you very much. I hope you have a positive and productive day, and we will see you on the field. Thanks, guys.